Recently, some spy images of the upcoming IONIQ 5N, the first ever N high-performance electric car from Hyundai, were exposed to the public. And what caught the people's attention was not the fancy N-specific paint job or the extreme 21-inch wheels, but simple equipment that's missing from all other IONIQ 5s that came before. However, it's not so clear at this moment whether the much-requested rear wiper from the latest version of the IONIQ 5 would trickle down through other variants of the popular electric vehicle from Hyundai. In this episode, we will dig deeper into the presence of the rear wiper in the IONIQ 5N, and determine if all IONIQ 5 owners' prayers would finally be answered. So, before we go on, we'd highly appreciate your support by subscribing, and turning on the notification bell, if you haven't already. And please don't forget to like, comment, and vote on the question that's presented at the end of the video. The eagerly anticipated high-performance version of the popular IONIQ 5 electric crossover was spotted for the first time as a production-ready version, complete with the N-specific performance racing blue livery, the 21-inch N-exclusive wheels wearing the ultra-high-performance Pirelli P0N spec rubbers that are made specifically for Hyundai N cars, and finished off with the unique body cladding that screams N division. The top-spec IONIQ 5 is also to feature an astonishing 576 horsepower and 546 pound-feet or 740 Nm of torque, good for 0 to 100 km/h time of less than 3.5 seconds, and together with the electronic limited slip differential and torque vectoring, which was recently featured on the RN22E, the precursor to the IONIQ 6N sedan, should be much more engaging to drive, as the tuning is set to carve corners and tackle racetracks, unlike the softer-tuned sibling Kia EV6 GT Grand Tourer. The performance prowess of the new Hyper hatch, which should give the likes of the Tesla Model 3 Performance or Porsche Taycan run for their money, and gives it a true meaning to the Lancia Delta Integrale-inspired sheet metal, should be enough to draw attention. But what really caught the attention of the IONIQ 5 fan community was the discovery of rear wiper that's conspicuously missing from all other IONIQ 5s that preceded it. The owners have been crying foul about the absence of the rear wiper since the car was first introduced, and regard it as the only critical flaw on a car that's otherwise nearly perfect in every aspect, while winning the World Car of the Year, European Car of the Year, and German Car of the Year. The so-called air wiper, also known as the no-wiper wiping system, is Hyundai's highly touted achievement in aerodynamics, a culmination of hundreds of hours of research performed in the wind tunnel to negate the need for a rear wiper, to make the profile clean and reduce the aerodynamic coefficient to the level unheard of for a tall crossover, all in the name of improving the efficiency and the range of Hyundai's first foray into an 800-volt dedicated electric vehicle. Simply put, the rear spoiler of the IONIQ 5 is designed not only to improve the aerodynamics, but also helps to guide the wind flow to clean off the moisture and debris as it's driven. It seems ingenious in design and makes sense on paper, as it's also one less electronic that would sap away from the overall energy pool. However, in reality, it has been proven to be ineffective by the actual owners of the IONIQ 5, as the air wiper appears to be completely inadequate in effectively fulfilling its duty. And strangely enough, there is a reason why the no-wiper wiping system is not working as designed. Oddly, this inadequacy is proven by the company's own visuals on the aerodynamics of the IONIQ 5, showing that airflow is actually directed away from the rear windshield, not going fully over it to clean up the glass as intended. So does the presence of the rear wiper on the 2023 IONIQ 5N finally signal closure to the controversy and admission of Hyundai's miscalculation? Not quite. From our understanding, it may be wise to hold off on being too excited about the possibility of the much requested and much needed rear wiper making its way into standard IONIQ 5s going forward. It's reported that the rear wiper on the N version was necessary, due to the larger rear spoiler that's focused on creating more downforce, and the N-specific triangular brake lamp, which is integrated into the spoiler, interferes with the aerodynamics that would otherwise be doing its job in cleaning the rear windshield. So it sounds like the rear wiper may be N-specific equipment, not meant for any other versions, meaning it wasn't devised in response to the consumer demand. The last time we checked, Hyundai is still adamant about the effectiveness of the air wiping system, and refuses to consider the placement of an actual wiper. Instead, Hyundai chose to offer an optional digital rearview mirror as a solution, even despite the rampant complaints of poor visibility out the back windshield, especially in Northern Europe, where the environment is considerably wetter and harsher, compared to places like dry and sunny California, the birthplace of Tesla and where most EVs are developed. Proponents of the air wipers, and yes, there are people that like the idea of no wiper wiping system, do claim that since the design of the IONIQ 5 is a homage to the original Hyundai Pony, which was not surprisingly penned by the same famous Italian designer Giorgetto Giugiaro that also designed the Lancia Delta, and because it was a fastback and therefore did not have a rear wiper, the same design ideal should be left intact to create a similarly sleek design without clutter. Also, there is a school of thought that says that since the competing Tesla Model 3 and Model Y do not have wipers, the IONIQ 5 likewise would not need one either. However, as tested by the latest Air Shaper 3D simulation by an independent test lab in Korea, which sees this as a critical safety hazard, have published a result that states that the air wiping technology would work only on gradually sloping rear windshields such as Tesla's Model 3 and Model Y, as well as the original Pony Fastback, and not on the more upright rear windshield of the IONIQ 5, which has more of a hatchback profile. Also, the rear roof spoiler, which is missing from Tesla models, are appearing to create an adverse effect on the effectiveness of the wind wiping system, contrary to the design's intent. Although the slots in the spoiler are designed to direct some of the airflows into the glass area, but not enough to reach the bottom of the windshield and do their job effectively. It apparently would have been a different story if IONIQ 5 had a more sloped rear end, and not the traditional hatchback style that it has adopted. Consequently, to be frank, we can't recall a single hatchback of late that didn't come with a rear wiper. Although classified as a crossover or an SUV, IONIQ 5 is clearly a hatchback in shape, and maybe Hyundai should consider making the rear wiper available across all models of the IONIQ 5, at least in Northern Europe or Canada. Also, it appears that the Korean Transportation Ministry is receiving enough complaints to warrant issuing an advisory notice on the subject, so it might be a matter of time before the IONIQ 5 finally gets what it deserves all across the range. As for the end of the video question, how do you feel about the issue of the rear wiper on the IONIQ 5? Is it serious enough to deter you from purchasing one? Please vote and share your views by clicking on the link in the comment section below or in the description. Thanks for watching AutoVision, your best source for the fastest Korean car news and rumors. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe and click on the notification bell, so as not to miss any of our new videos. It would help the channel greatly if you could view our videos as soon as they are uploaded, and watch them all the way until the end, which would help to reach more people. Also, to support our channel even further, please consider donating or joining our membership, and enjoy the exclusive content and previews of the upcoming episodes. Finally, don't forget to join our forum and share your passion for Korean cars at KoreanCarNews.com. See you next time with the latest Korean car news.
I've been fighting everything you say. I've been trying to go the other way.